Welcome to my weekly self-important Magic the Gathering show. We are finally starting on typal, though there might be an interruption because there's a lot of types. I do really want to talk about Mystery Booster commanders, but I'm going to wait till a little bit later in the year because I think they've mostly been spoiled, but I want it all to be spoiled, and I want the product to be technically available before I start. Checking a message. So, yeah, like I said, we're starting with Elves, and we're starting with mono green Elves. So we're just going to go through all of the legendary green Elves in alphabetical order, because it really doesn't matter. And we're going to read them, and we're going to put as many of the cool ones in the deck as I feel like it, for the record. Otterwin, Weaver of Hope. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with a number of additional +1/+1 counters on it equal to Arvin Weaver Hope's toughness. Well, even one +1/+1 counter, she's a 2/1, is fine. Celeborn the Wise. Whenever you attack with one or more elves, scry 1. Whenever you scry, Celeborn gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each card looked at this way while scrying. Scrying is neat, but I don't know. Dionys, Elvish Archdruid. Elf creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped during your turn, tap it and put a +1/+1 counter on it. This ability only triggers once a turn. All of that is in one. After the have, all of that is in parentheses, so that's all the ability. That's cool. Dywin, Guiltleaf Dane, Reach, other elves, oh, it's a lord, and then you gain life for each attacking elf when she attacks. That's fine. This elf doesn't care about elves specifically, but you can tap it and 2 other elves to put a there's a lot of extra words in here, but basically you can put a creature from your hand or top of your library into the battlefield by tapping 3 creatures, this being one of the creatures. And you can also just cast creature spells from the top of your library. And of course you can look at the top of your library at any time. That's pretty good, and that's basically card draw. Making the top card of your deck basically another card in your hand. Eladamri, Lord of Leaves. All elves have Gain Forest Walk. That's neat. All elves have Shroud. That's bad. In theory. Nothing we've done so far targets anything, so we can come back to this was also on Eladamri, for the record. So we can come back to this one. If we do not target our own stuff, this is fine. Which means no equipment either. Creature, Emil, Fastlands Roamer. Creatures in control with a +1/+1 counter on them have trample. That's, I mean, we kind of have we do sort of have a thing going. We have it here and there.
Watch hit movies and TV shows.
Oh, there's an ad.
Boxing is a criminal.
Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X counters on it, where X is the number of different named lands you control. I mean, we're going to put that in here because maybe we're going to do stuff with +1/+1 counters. Azuri, Renegade Leader, regenerate another target elf, or Elf Overrun. I think having Elf Overrun on demand in play is fine. Also kind of removal baity, which is cool. Galadriel, gift giver. When she enters the battlefield, choose one. Or attacks, okay. Something gets a +1/+1 counter. You get a food, or you get a treasure. At 5 mana, I'm not sure she's all that great. Not terrible. Galleon, Elven-King's Butler. Whenever Galleon attacks, choose up to one other target creature you control. Its base power and toughness become equal to this creature's power and toughness. Galandra, Caller of Wirewood. She adds green, and you draw a card if that spell had mana value 6 or greater. Glissa Sunseeker is a very interesting creature. Basically, you have to put mana into your mana pool, then tap her, and you can destroy an artifact equal to that amount of mana. Which, you know what? I'm down with that. It's not exactly quick, because, you know, she don't have haste or nothing. But it's a neat card. Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer. Whenever you scry, choose one, and Glorfindel gets +1/+1 on turn. Must be blocked or can't be blocked. If I was rule zeroing Celeborn and Glorfindel as partners, that would be good. Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. 2 mana of any combinations of color. Only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. And then this creature gets +1/+1 counter if you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater. Haldir, Lurian Lieutenant. I say accent marks and I just want to pronounce things funny. Oh, it's an X spell creature, so that enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. Vigilance, and then you have a 6 mana, not quite overrun because it's not trample, but it gives vigilance, and it gives +1/+1 for each +1 counter on this. That's fine. It's a nice little. I mean, the vigilance is cool, but if you want to attack out and still be able to block because you're not sure if you're going to win. Halcyon, Emerald Archdruid. Okay, that can make something a bear. A 4/4 bear, so a double bear. And Mario, Elfheim Elite. Whenever they attack, they get +X/+L in turn, where X is the number of other elves you control. Oh, and they can assign combat damage to those who wasn't blocked. And it's from a thing the Game Night 3, which I'm fairly certain almost nobody has. Gyra, Friend of the Forest. Tokens add for green. Tap for green. I do like that. Kesa is a lord for all green creatures, but she costs 5, so I know we're in green, and that costing 5 basically means it costs 3. But I'm not sure if that's enough. Like, where's my other lord? That costs 4 and has 2 other abilities. And is a bigger creature. This one, I'm not even reading this one because it's going to have nothing to do with this deck. Legolas Greenleaf, can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. Whenever another legendary creature enters the battle under your control, this one gets a +1/+1 counter. And then when Legolas deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. I think that Legos is fine. The potential for card draw is fine, and there's probably going to be a lot of legends in this deck just by going, because I don't see myself taking anything out. This is the Legolas that has heroic without saying heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you don't control, Legolas deals damage equal to his power to up to one target creature. But whenever you cast a spell that targets Legolas, they get a +1 counter. If we do anything with fight spells, this would actually be pretty cool. But I don't know how much fighting we'll be doing. Even though that's like Green's big removal suite. Maester Seymour. Beginning of combat, you turn, put a number of +1 counters equal to Maester's power on another target creature control. Okay, neat. And then we can also pay 5 for a monster to the X, where X is the number of counters on creatures you control. Okay, so I can see us doing stuff with +1 counters even more with Master Seymour. Marwyn the Nurturer. Whenever another elf enters the battlefield under your control, she gets a +1 counter. And then she taps for mana equal to her power. That's fine. Okay, so this Nissa, whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. If this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal elf or elemental card, put that in your hand, and the rest of the bottom of your library in order. That's like card draw. That's large card draw if you can play a second land. And if you're not playing a second land, which you might not be, it's still a Lotus Cobra for what it's worth. This is Flip Nissa, which I don't actually really care about.
You're watching YouTube, but
This is Energy Nissa. We gave her her own entire deck.
listen to rare covers of your favorite artists.
Numa. There's
Get
another
YouTube
ad.
Music Premium.
Yes. Just barely missed it. Anyway. Nope, that is not correct. Numa. Joraga Chieftain. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay double X. If you do, distribute X +1 counter on any one of target elves. Sure. Risk to exile. Whenever Risk to exile attacks, you gain 1 life for each elf you control. Oh, this one has black in its color identity, so we can't use this one. Rishkar, Prima Renegade. This gives our +1/+1 counters into mana dorks. +1/+1 counters having creatures. This is the Parlay Silva. Nope, this isn't. Whenever another creature enters, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power, and then she taps for mana equal to the Gray's powder among creatures you control. So basically, you pay 1 to get at least 2. And maybe someone else draws a card because they're playing dinosaurs. I was wondering when I was going to let that yawn out. Sutina, Speaker of the Tajuru. When she enters, search your library for a basic land, put in the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. She attacks, and when you return the land in control to its owner's hand, when you do, you put a +1 counter on target creature. She helps you get your landfall triggers once you've run out of lands. Thalon of Havenwood. Each fungus creature gets +1/+1 for each spore counter on it. Oh, this one also has black in its mana value, so never mind. Thromel, Seymour's butler. Each other non-token creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Oh. And then 1 tap proliferate X, where X is the number of non-token creatures you control that enter this turn. Neat. Don't know how often. Well, like paying 1 tap proliferate once is still fine. Tristan, Callous Cultivator. Oh, it has black in its color identity. So never mind. Tyvar the Pummeler. This is the one that gets an indestructible. Oh, but it also has an not quite overrun because it doesn't give trample. Get his plus X plus S on the turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Oh, that's weird. T, Elf, T, Legend. Wait, hold on. Did I get... I got logged out. Wow, it saved none of my changes. Because I wasn't logged in that whole time. Okay. From the top. Arwen, yes. We're gonna put Celeborn in as a yes for now. You, yes. You, yes. You know what? Again, casting spells from the top. Yes. Yes. You know what? Why not? Nope. Nope. Yes. No. Whoops. Yes. 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 This one is a yes. 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 Where's the back one? Right, you need 7 or more lands for this one. Not really all that interesting. Okay, now we can finally look at the last 3. Tap another... Oh yeah, that's right. That's overrun. We can look at the last 2. Varus, that one enters the... it does dungeon stuff. And then Veva, Nature's Herald. Flash, you may cast green creature spells with the add flash. I don't know how important that's going to be, but actually I do believe that's our commander. Oh, we're going to use this silly printing. Meh! That's the sound this card makes. Scroll to top. Now what we're going to do is we go minus T Legend, and then we don't need this. One thing that cares about creatures. Move you from protection to finisher, even though none of them really finish, I don't think. We're gonna move you from untap to counters. We're gonna move you to counters because even though you don't put them on, you care about them. We're just going to check for whatever pretty art we want to put on. I don't know what set pawn is. Magic Origins promos. Oh, so it's from Origins. Hold on. Magic Origins ORI. Okay. I like the little star symbol for Foundation, so that's the one we're using. Of course, we got to use the gold. Part of me is like, oh, we got to use the gold, but then I'm like, nah, they really did sweet art over here. Danny Schwartz. I like the etched ones on principle, but they just don't look good on the internet. We gotta go with old border. This is going to be it. Nope. Okay, good. I got other printing.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube. We have to kill the imposter.
Oh, that's dual deck, I think.
Get Paramount Plus and
Hold
more
on.
streaming services. to
Elves
watch
versus
hit
Inventors.
on YouTube.
We're just going to use the list. Okay, this printing is really sweet, but I wouldn't pay $40 for it. This is, yeah. This one's going to have a book illustration version. Oh, we got to go with this anime waifu'd up version. Old border. Dual Masters. Yep, etched. That's what this style is called, and I'm not all that big of a fan of it. Although it looks better on this one than it did on the other ones. Or on the other one. What was that? Jumpstart. Yeah, Jumpstart 2025 was a pretty good set. Yeah, we'll go with OG. And there we go. Okay. Okay. And again, we're just gonna go in alphabetical order. We're green. Mana value kind of arbitrary. Accomplished Alchemist. It's a 4-mana dork. That puts counters on beasts. Mildly interesting. That's energy. This one puts lands from your graveyard into play. This one cares about Ajani Planeswalkers, which are definitely not going to be in this deck. Exile 2 green cards from your hand rather than play Outsource Rider's mana cost. Outsource Rider is a land-based power toughness creature. Allosaurus Shepherd. This spell can't be countered. Green spells you control can't be countered. Not important. It has a 6 mana. All your creatures are base 5/5s. And that's why they're invited to the barbecue. Also, there's this $65 version. That's cool. It's very cool art from Double Masters. Unnecessarily expensive. Force you control our elves? That is a terrible idea, but funny. Oh, that's from Dual Decks, Elves versus Goblins. Oh, geez, and it was meant to go up against a mono red deck? That is just a very terrible idea. I like how this the original art didn't even have an elf in it. That's funny. Does not make it to the barbecue. Arbor Elf. It's a mana dork with extra steps, so let's go for it. Architect of the Untamed, something to do with energy. 4 mana, untaps 2 lands. I don't think we need to do that. Draw a card for each creature control with a +1 counter on it. I don't want to draw that many cards at once. This cares about rolling dice. This has a terrible alliance ability. This is a hasty mana dork that only casts creature spells. This thing has a terrible alliance ability. Oh, Elf Beast Whisperer. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. I don't know how many creatures we're going to have in the deck, to be honest. Because I'm going to find all the ones that make more creatures. Sacrifice a red creature. Tap 2 elves to add one mana of any color to your mana pool. Bloodline Shaman. Both Side Wanderers. 4 cards in your library. Reveal a permanent card. Put it into your hand. And then it gets slightly bigger on landfall. Boreal Rider. I'm just looking for versions. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if you use snow mana, it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter. Boreal Druid, it adds colorless. That gets lands to hand for discarding card. Bloom Tender, not really doing much in this deck. Each other warrior you control comes to play with additional +1/+1 counter. But it also has the creatures you control with +1/+1 counters have trample, so that's worth it. And a lot of the elf tokens are elf warriors, so that's fine. That has Toxic too. Top 4 cards of your library, creature goes into your hand. Okay. That brings a bear. Oh, that's draft nonsense. Elf Lord, that taps for 3. This has affinity for elves. But, you know me, I don't like milling. Metalcraft. If it's tapped, you gain 2 life on your second main phase. This thing brings a centaur, who centaurs notoriously are not elves. Champions of the perfect. You champion an elf, although it doesn't have the champion text on it. Oh, but it goes to your hand, not into play? Oh, and it's basically Beast Whisperer, but it's a 6/6 because you have to discard or oh, Behold also you don't have to. So okay, so that is different. That's why it's not champion. Whenever you scry, add for each creature you control. Might as well. This can be a bear sometimes. This turn. This and something else is a mana dork. I'd rather have that other thing. This gets a basic land to your hand. This thing cares about tokens. This gives all your other creatures pseudo-vigilance. Face down creatures.
Time for your weekend.
Whenever this one attacks, you may have
100% chance of grumpy kids
other attacking creatures get a +X+ on the turn, where X is this power. It costs 5. It could be good if it can get some +1/+1 counters on it.
Savory sausage, fluffy eggs, crispy hash browns, and golden hotcakes. The financial outlook? Totally wallet safe. Brighten your weekend. Order ahead on the McDonald's app.
Another warrior.
Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
This is worse than that other one because the other one at least said your +1/+1 counter creatures have trample. Bad fire breathing, echo, and squirrels. Draw a card. This ability costs 1 less for each +1/+1 counter you have on creatures you control. That actually might be good. This is also squirrels. Okay. The voted druid. I don't want to mess with the voted druid in this deck. Yeah, that's a conscious decision I'm making. Land to hand. Power toughness equal to green permanence. Spend some mana dork up here. This is 2 bodies per body, and it's a warrior for what it's worth. This is 2 bodies for bodies as long as you have another body. Arc Druid. Oh, the Bard is actually kind of a finisher. All creatures able to block the Bard must do so. So, you know, you send them out there to die so the rest of your team can get through. Other elves get +1/+1 force walk. Stuff like this is symmetrical. You just hope that no one else. Elvish Clan Caller. It's 2 solid green for other elves getting +1/+1. It's like There's the Mystic. Elvish Pioneer is a good first turn land drop. Especially in mono green, we're going to have a lot of basic lands anyway. Elvish Piper, I don't think this deck cares about Elvish Piper, if I'm being honest. Oh, Elvish Promenade to get us more elves per elf. That's a sorcery, not a creature. Top 5 cards for land? That's fine. Whenever one or more other elves enter the battlefield, you get an elf once per turn. Elvish Visionary is a 2-mana 1/1 where you just draw a card when it enters. I'm fine with that. Elvish Vanguard is fine. Emeritus of Abundance. Oh, Regrowth. Oh, you know what? I mess with that. We're not messing with the Monarch. I don't care about Essence Warden. Proliferate is kind of on the agenda. Basic land, battlefield tapped, and you get a 1/1 out of it. Basically, this one and like that other one are just rampant growth stapled to a creature, and I'm fine with that. Oh, that's turn face up. Fauna Shaman, discard a creature card. Maybe we draw something we don't need, and then but you can search your library for a creature card, put it in your hand. Kindlehorn Elves. Oh, Squad, yeah, with the Lord. Generous Patron is mildly interesting, but it's not going in this deck. Whenever you put one or more counters on a creature you don't control, draw a card. And then you can put plus multiple counters on things when it enters. So that's mildly interesting. Oh, a decoy. That had the everything must block it. Archers. tap a gate. Gyre Sage has evolved, so it gets bigger when other creatures that are bigger than it come into play. And it adds green for it, the number of +1/+1 counters. I'm just looking for stuff that'll mean I don't have to put mana rocks in this deck. Let's see, that one on the first page was tapping 2 elves for 1 green, right? This taps 3 elves for 3 green, so that's fine. Trample, power, and toughness equals all elves on the battlefield, not just ours. And having trample is at least good. If we're going to elf ball, we may as well have payoff. Put a +1 counter on target creature for each elf you control. That is funny as heck. Oh. Creates elves and Elf Lord. Joiner Adept, completely unnecessary in this deck. Whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under control, put a +1 counter on target creature. For 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 mana, it'll turn everything into double mana dorks. The Warcaller gets +1/+1 counters, but also Lords equal to its +1/+1 counters. A lord with attached card draw. Land of War Elves. This is honestly my favorite elf. This is one of my favorite spell shapers, even though it's kind of dumb. So it's Land of War Mentor. Pay a green, tap, discard a card, make a Land of War Elves. You know that thing up here that's just a 1/1 elf that taps for 1? Brilliant. Land of War Tribe. Nah. Beginning of combat on your turn, target elf you control gains trample. Oh. It's only 1, but it's still trample, and +X equals the force you control. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you get an elf. This is another everything must block it, but it costs 6 instead of 4. Oh, additional lands on our turns. And playing lands from the top. Priest of Titania. Cash for Elves. Oh, this one does the bring stuff into play, but also does it on land basics into play, but also does it on attack, so that's cool. Huh. And we gotta throw in the Death Toucher in here just for fun. Oh, Taunting Elf, the cheapest version of that. Tireless Provisioner, just because there's non-zero chance that we're gonna get landfall stuff, and it can get us treasure or food. Though if we don't do this, we can take out one of that one. Oh, wait, no, that also count. You know, never mind. We're gonna put this in here because that one other elf I was thinking about that we could take out also cares about all the things to make token creatures. So never mind me. Target creature gets bigger equal to the number of elves on the battlefield. I like it. Whenever a player casts a green spell, put a +1 counter on the chosen. I mean, that's us. Something I read makes me want to read some stuff that's in my deck to make sure. Protection from goblins. Gain 1 life for each elf on the battlefield. We're not doing that. I just thought it was interesting to say it. Huh. 6 mana makes elf every upkeep. I mean, sure, I don't think it's actually good enough. But, like, this is the last page of creatures. This also adds X for elves. And all the way back to the first page. Yeah, I don't remember. Wirewood Savage and Woodland Liege, exact same creature, except one's a druid noble and one's just an elf. Checking something. Elvish Ambush is not a typal spell. Oh, and then there's the explosion of spiders, but it's elves. Anyway, we're at 79 cards because we have 75 creatures. Yeah, that is a number that's going to go down. So let's do a grid. Let's go by type again. Okay, we are dumping Elvish Pioneer because it's conditional ramp. Conditional to us having another land in our hand. 44 creatures to go. We don't need that. It does say all creatures. And you know what? I'm going to remove the other two just because this is the cheap one. Oh, we don't need that. Yeah. Sorry, I got this random itch. You know what? It only comes in foil. I just wanted to check. Elvish Bard was also 5. I thought they were 4. Well, that's fine. We don't need this Galadriel. And quite honestly, the Wolverine Riders just... Like, we're going to play something completely different on our top end, if we even have a top end. Actually, our top end is probably that X-Elf, if I'm being honest. Okay, so what did we get down to? 61. Okay, so we are going to categories because I want to see some stuff. We got 5 anthems, 12 things that care about counters, 7 things that care about draw, one thing that cares about evasion because it makes it to where all of our other creatures can't be blocked. We have 4 things I've classified as finishers. I think we're going to dump this Proliferate, Landfaller. We're going to put Allosaurus Shepherd in finisher. We're going to move you down to where I know tokens are. Because even though it prevents non-elf damage, we do like more creatures per creature. Okay, we have 20 pieces of ramp. I think I know where we can pull from. Boreal Druid doesn't make green. So sad to see that go, because I actually like that card. Gyre Sage can tap for a lot. But, like, this is where I realized, what are we even doing with all that mana? We don't have anything to do with this mana, but maybe that'll be in a future part of the deck. I think this is going to sound weird, but I think I'm going to take out the Landfall Elves, or the Land Bringing Elves, because I think I got rid of Landfall, all the Landfall creatures anyway. Oh, there's one more I can get rid of. I think he's going to be further up, isn't he? Yes, this guy. That's plus wisdom counter, so that one kind of gets to stay. I always like sitting on a death toucher. It makes them use removal if they really want to attack you with something. I do like removal bait. Yes, use it on this annoying thing, so you don't use it on this other, probably better for me thing. Go by types again, because I want to see the total. 55. Wow, 25 more still to go, huh? You know, Arbor Elf is the extra steps, even though that's cool art. You know, the ones that only make 1 token, Even though it's 2 creature per creature, that's really all they do. That makes me sad. This gets us 1 extra elf per turn. You know, you don't have trample, so sorry, Titania's chosen. You got cut. You do have trample, so that's at least helpful. That is only helping 1 creature, so we're gonna... That does give trample. Lands from the top of your library is still good draw. And these are instant, so they don't count. We are down to... Do we really want 50 creature spells? That's the question. How like... Let's add in our land. T forest. Let's just grab our forests. Which are going to be these. All printings. Just this one. T land O green mana symbol. Boseiju enters. Sure, why not? Don't think we need Garen Brigg, I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't think we need this planet or growing rights. Wirewood Lodge to untap target elf, actually. Whoa! Sorry, had to move how I was sitting. And there's 2 more. Actually, there. I can go down because I did remember some things. NYK for our devotion. 3 Tree City because we're probably going to have a lot of elves. Nope, nope, no, no. Yavimaya Cradle of Growth to give everyone else forests. So that one forest walk thing makes a... I'm also looking... That gives Death Touch. That's pretty awesome. I just realized where all of my mana can go. It's in these creatures with activated abilities. Elvish Champion for 1. Think... okay, you know what? We're dumping Legolas. I also think I'm going to change my commander, but that's going to make me want to take out a bunch of things in here. Let's target elf. I'm glad I didn't click indiscriminately, forgetting how the cards move. Oh, we can get rid of Silverborn Wise. Totally, that gold border made him totally escape my mind. Target elves. Target. Down to 42 creatures. Look at that. 43 creatures. Don't know where she's going to move to. Is that how it's spelled? $80 card. Look at that. He's in protection. We need 2 more lands for the record. All elves gain Forest Walk. Elves have Shroud. Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. Casting elves as though they had flash is neat and all. And that's a great use of our mana. You can go to finisher as well. Basically anything that does any even remote. I can see how you can be a finisher. It finishes one person, I guess. But anything that has one overrun effect. A lot of my elves, I guess, technically aren't creatures because they're technically my mana rocks that I can't use the turn they come into play. Oracle gets to stay because that is like card draw. Clearing lands off the top of your deck. Bring creature spells as though they had flash. I'm going to be cheeky and put that in evasion for now. Then we are going to go to... What do people want? Reliquary Tower? I'm not going to be afraid to discard cards. Myriad Landscape, we are in green, my friend. Blighted Woodland, way worse than Myriad Landscape. Oh, that actually reminds me of one thing that we put in here. Path of Ancestry. We can go back to stacks. So now we're at 36 out of 37 lands. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Though considering... Actually, no, wow, look at our curve. 1, 2. Then big 3 and 4. And then 5. We could use some bigger stuff, but... Oh, we're doing Concordant Crossroads. basically what we want to do is hold that, and it was in the same area. The no, where is it? Oh, it's an evasion. And the taunting elf on the same turn. And hope for the best. Though we have enough ramp, maybe we can get away with 36. I'm going to go to 31 basics. The funny thing is, part of me still wants to put in the 2-mana sorceries that pull lands out of the deck, despite all of the ramp that this deck has. That is wild. I think this is Nature's Claim. Winter removal. Yes. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Its controller gains 4 life. Yeah, so none of my stuff targets. None of my stuff targets my other stuff. Which means I can't use fight spells, as it turns out. Other people's creatures are going to have to be other people's problems. Honestly, Berserk. I can't target my own stuff when my commander's in play, but I think I've said it before, still one of my favorite pieces of removal. Because maybe you can remove 2 things at once. The Elvish Lyricist and the Elvish Scrapper were cool back in the day. They each are a 1-mana 1/1 with 1 green tap, sacrifice, 1 destroys enchantments, 1 destroys artifacts. That is neat as heck. Oh, and then there's even this druid that's the lyricist again. That's kind of neat. I didn't put in anything with Changeling. Not even the one that would make sense. The well, that doesn't have Changeling, but the Metallic Mimic. Yeah, the thing with this is that we have to target our own creatures. Put target enchantment on the bottom of its owner's library. If only that also said artifact or enchantment. Because putting stuff on the bottom of their library is great. Because Pest Infestation. Because at best they can shuffle it back into their deck, or they'd have to tutor it. Okay, Turn to Dust is funny. It destroys equipment, but you get your mana back. You don't get to untap the land, but you get the mana you put into it back. Oh, yeah. Oh, did my music stop playing? Stopped playing a while ago, probably. Destroy all enchantments. We have one enchantment, and we wouldn't. So we'll back to nature. I think there's something like this for artifact, battle, enchantment, or creature with flying. It's a sorcery, though. Oh, that's the thing. I was about to say I forgot to say instance only, but I do. But there are sorceries I want to find. I could have said non-permanents, but if I'd done that, I wouldn't have been able to make that great comment about the two elves and the druid that I believe might also be an elf. Actually, it probably wasn't. I don't know. I didn't actually look. Oh, collective resistance with its escalate. But we might not be doing the third thing because of the hexproof. But being able to destroy an artifact and an enchantment for 3 is kind of cool. Like, fight spell's not our thing, but we can get rid of, I like how this is choose and not target. Artifact or enchantment shuffles it into our library, but it's choose and not target. I don't know if you can hear me tapping my table. There's a lot of disenchants. That's just a 2 mana destroyed target artifact or enchantment. We'll do Kinrith's transformation just to turn something into a not whatever their abilities are. I guess we could say Naturalize since we're in green, but Disenchant was first. Mercenaries don't untap during their controller's untap step. That is wildly specific. I suppose, yeah. The thing is that we could put equipment on stuff and then play our commander. So, like, I don't have to have anything. I don't have to not have anything that targets in my deck. But our commander is 2 mana, and I probably would just play him just to protect everything. It's like, if you want to get rid of my stuff, you gotta completely board wipe. And our commander is just a 2 mana commander. So, we can bring them back as necessary. Exile up to 3 target enchantments. Only good if you have 3 targets. I mean, but you might. Oh, attacking creatures we control have Death Touch. I like that. Beast Within, just because of what we're doing. There's a card I didn't see, and I feel like it's because I'm dumb or wasn't paying attention at the time. Oh, it's the card I'm thinking of gets put in ramp, not removal. Burial artifacts. Okay, interesting that the one for enchantments is 2, but the one for artifacts is at minimum 3. So we do want to pay 3 and give them life equal to the mana value, or just destroy all. Oh, Fade from History gets both, so let's do that. And that's better than Rampage of the Clans, because this only gives them 1. Each player who controls an artifact or enchantment gets 1 bear. Then destroy all artifacts and enchantments. We have 1 enchantment that we don't plan on playing unless we plan on winning.
Watch hit movies and TV shows.
And at that point, I don't think we need Creeping Corrosion or Seeds of
And more
Innocence.
streaming services to watch your favorites on YouTube.
But Nylea's Intervention, which I got no find in ramp, and move it to removal. Mass Disruption. Pest Infestation. Nylea's Intervention. Technically Collective Resistance. Berserk is almost Mass Disruption, but I don't think mass is 2, mass is minimum 3. And hey, we still have 5 spots left. Look at us. This will be interesting, actually. Artifacts. We're not putting it in Soul Ring or Emerald Medallion. Oh, the Great Hinge is actually in line with the rest of our deck. It is an artifact that will get exploded, but hopefully it draws us cards before it does. And we only have one thing that explodes our own artifacts, so I'm fine with that. Funny how I'm fine destroying my own artifacts in this deck, but I've never been fine with destroying my own creatures in a board wipe. Umbral Mantle is actually really funny in this deck, and I gotta blow my nose, so give me a moment. Okay, I feel better. Thornbite Staff is also a funny option if I get to draw Bright Blade out, but like that's Coat of Arms for 5. We got 4 more spots. Any creatures they think I missed? Probably yeah. Puts the elf on top. Gains life for elf. Elf that destroys a thing on entry. Untapping a forest. Craterhoof. We're very specifically not putting Craterhoof. He is not honorary elf. The ones that put force directly into play, those were tempting, because they are more permanent pieces of ramp. We're not doing that. Not doing that. Oh, Realm Walker actually casts creature spells from the top of the chosen type off the top of your library, and we do have a lot of creatures. Let's be honest. That's also a form of card draw, so I don't count this as a loss because the changeling part doesn't matter. This part matters. The Pseudo-Vigilance guy. We're not getting extra combats though, so I don't. Enchantments. Mana for elves on an enchant land. Tribute to the World Tree, to where they get plus Muslim counters or we draw a card. Four mana to turn all of our guys into dorks. but it also casts creature spells from the top. What are we sitting on? One more. Guardian Project actually is kind of good because we do have a lot of creatures. There we go. This is, of course, not the best version of this deck, but this is my version. Oh, hey, look, 9 out of 10 pieces of card draw. I'm just looking at where stuff ran. 7 pieces of removal, not bad, with 4 pieces of Master Disruption. That ain't bad, that ain't the worst. 7 things we've decided to call finishers. 14 pieces of ramp, 4 more than we needed. 6 things that make tokens. One of those things, like everything after here with the 4 mana cost, I don't really count as ramp. Like, we go ramp, big mana. That's, even though that's how I feel. Anyway. We like have one thing over here. No, I even took Rishkar out. Look at that. I don't remember if anything that targeted my own stuff made it back into the deck. But I do believe in myself in liking this in the deck that I built.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app.
Don't update Notepad++ just yet.
1 subscription, 2 apps. Try 1 month free.
That is a very short ad. There you are. How long did it take us to put that one together? Hour 45. We're gonna make more because there's at least 3 more. 4 more we can make. So though I might like stop and start like a new recording because I might get hungry. Which one's next? We'll go alphabetical order so I don't have to answer my own question. Good old Golgari Elves. Oh, are you on? Wait, hold on. Are you unlisted? Whoops, no, this isn't. This is my original. These are my original versions. I wonder how it stacks up. Oh, Kesa made it into this version. Only 3 things for counters. Eladamri's over here. And stuff are over here like proliferate counts as counters. Like, just assuming I wasn't going to play Eladamri as soon as possible. And then Glorfindel, 5 pieces of draw, 28 pieces of ramp, Jesus. Oh, and it even uses, wow. I think my new version is better just because I didn't overload it with, well, that's not ramp, but then, and then only 3 things that make tokens. 7 pieces of removal. With Legolas, even though I don't have any spells that target other people's stuff. Oh, and then Unnatural Growth went over there. Oh, and we did 38 lands. Because Caverns of Souls. So we are going to go back. And we're going to delete it. Delete selected content and sub-content. Delete selected content and sub-content. Oh. I had to scroll down more, everybody. There we go. Now we are going back to
There's
home.
enough needless nonsense in the world already. Your phone plan shouldn't add to it. Verizon's new Simplicity plan cuts
Jeez,
down
now I
on
forget
the
what I was
nonsense in your life.
going here
Now
for.
there's just one plan
Oh,
at
I
one
wanted to
price,
check to make
$30
sure
a line per month, even for a single line.
that it was
And
unlisted.
everyone gets
Okay.
our best 5G network. It's a phone plan designed to do exactly what a phone plan is supposed to do. Isn't that a lot simpler? Switch today at Verizon.com or at your nearest store. For new customers, $30 per line includes autopay and switch discount. Additional taxes, fees, and terms apply. Unlimited data is restricted to on-device smartphone usage. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
There we go. Just so I can compare Golgari, Simic, Bant, Elves, and then we also have Sultai Elves because that guy came out recently. Come here. T, Elf, T, Legend, Commander equals Ugh. Okay, let's see what they all do. Whenever you scry, put a ++ counter on target creature, and then you can pay 6 to scry 2. If a lot of the scry elves from Lord of the Rings end up in this deck, she'll end up in this deck as well. Serdian the Shipwright, Vigilance. Whenever they enter or attacks, each player secretly votes for a player. Then those votes are revealed. Each player draws a card for each vote they received. Each player who received no votes may put a permanent card in their hand on the battlefield. That's just fun. Spymaster of Tress. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may draw a card. Actually, you know what? That's fun, but I don't want to do it. Edric Ruined Serdian. Whenever you scry, put a +1 counter on up to each X target creatures, or X is the number of cards looked at while scrying this way. Whenever a creature you control with +1 /1 becomes the target of spell or ability opponent controls, you may draw a card. Okay. Elrond and votes for Fellowship or Aid. I think that says Aid. Let's do this. Fellowship or Aid. For each Fellowship vote, the voter chooses a creature they control. You gain control of each creature chosen this way, and they can't attack its owner. And then for Aid, you put a +1 counter on each creature you control. Neat, but I don't like stealing stuff. Although they give you the thing that you steal, so that might take the sting off of it. Arrestor voting. I don't think we're gonna have mono. We're gonna have elf typal voting. Whenever players finish voting, each opponent who voted for a choice you voted for creates a treasure token. You scry X, where X is the number of
body spray and deodorant.
people who voted against you,
20% off the Target Circle.
but then you also draw a card.
Face masks for us.
That's a, see, that actually makes me want
College
to
students
put
get 20% off the next purchase at
Elrond.
Target Circle. Subject to terms. Visit target.com/circle for more details.
Well, that's only an enters effect. Okay, sorting in the shipwright as commander since it's for attacks as well. Proliferating. Oh, another will of the council. See, now we're getting mildly interesting. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if another elf entered the battlefield on your control this turn, starting with you, each player votes for Dominion or Guidance. Dominion gets more votes, the ring tempts you. Then you put a +1 counter on your ring bearer. If Guidance gets more votes, you draw a card, or is tied. I like this. I like this. The fact that they can give you a garbage 1/1 token, if they have any, is fine. This, and honestly this. I said Simic Elves, but it might be Lord of the Ring Elves. Whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you get an experience counter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may put X plus some counters on another target creature control, where X is the number of experience counters you have. That might turn into a lot of experience counters. Not worried about proliferating. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Galadriel, you scry 3. Oh, and since this is our commander, we have a high chance of scrying a lot. So I'm going back up here to get all the fancy printings. I know I gave up doing that like partway through the previous deck. I'm only going to have one fake group HUD card in my deck, and this ain't going to be it. Though it is tempting. I don't like you enough, Elrond, to do that other printing. I do like those black and whitish, not in the deck. That's where I started. Since we're reading all of them anyway. Whenever you scry, you may reveal the top card of your library. If land is revealed this way, you put it in the battlefield tip. So if you scry land top, you get it. You get extra land drop. Nice. I do like her enough, but we're kind of on a thing here. She don't matter. Whenever you scry, if Legolas is tapped, you can untap him once a turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you can put a counter on Legolas. Legolas can go into the deck for now. This deck is going to be a weird as far as elf decks go. plasma stones are put on him, you investigate that many times. Oh, and he has evolve. And whenever we sacrifice a clue, put a +1 counter on another target creature you control. I don't think so. Hey, Momir Vig. I think the Momir format on Arena is named after him. I could be wrong, but I don't feel like I am. Whenever you play a green creature spell, you may search your library for a creature card and reveal it and put it on top. When you get a whenever you play a blue creature spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature, I put it into your hand. So if you place a blue-green creature spell, you put a thing on top, and then you draw it, because everyone sees what it is. And you choose the order that you want those to happen in. So sure, that might come out later, but that's that is a Simic card that wants Rainbow Deck. Prime Speaker Vanifar. Oh, that's Birthing Pod. I don't think we're going to be messing with Birthing Pod. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, reveal the top card of your library. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if it's a spell with lesser mana value. If you don't cast it, put it in your hand. Honestly, that's just fun.
Get HBO Max and more streaming services to watch your favorites on YouTube.
Another ad that I missed. Thranduil. Oh, hey, Simic Elf Lord. And then you get Elves on Landfall. And the Sylvan Rivalry thing that don't matter. Oh, we can have a cool printing on top of everything else. I'm just going to do that just in case that's necessary to do. Oh, other elves become double mana dorks. That's cool. And he still makes elves. Oops, I forgot to... Nope. No, hey, no, he only has that printing for now. Elven waifu-ish. Although actually I do like the case report ones the most. Being a comment on your turn, choose one. Cloak. Or, nope, that's just not good for this deck at all. Okay. Does anybody, I mean, two people. You technically do ramp. And you do anthem. We also do counters. We'll see how things... No, you don't. You do tokens. That's the word I meant to say. What's funny is that we're going to have a... The funny thing about this is that the Ring Bearer gets Skulk without the Skulk keyword. So putting a +1/+1 counter on it is kind of silly. But you just got to be careful. So now we go here. Oh, and I just realized that I probably should have done this. And then go order. Color. Although I guess now, since I have my commander selected, I don't actually need that anyway. Oh, there's wonder if that's an elf. We will see. Oh, and I guess we're still searching for legends. Partner with a white creature. Scry 1. But you can also have the ring tempt you. If a second creature enters. I don't know if I care about that. Whenever you activate ability of a creature, draw a card once a turn. How many activated abilities are we sitting on right now? We're not sitting on one, I'll tell you what, because that is too expensive. We have 0 activated abilities right now. Matthews, Surge Channeler. Whenever you can't say instant or sorcery, you roll a dice, so we're already moving on. We can put in Arwen and do more +1/+1 counter stuff. I do like the pseudo vigilance or making our mana dorks bigger. And then a lord. And then theoretically free creatures who all untap if they with Dionys, so that's cool. Oh. Elf overrun. No. Whenever you scry, oh, Sunseeker again. There's going to be a lot of overlap, obviously. Must be blocked or can't be blocked. Yeah, we definitely want to do more scrying. Nothing. I think there was a thing that like cared if we scried. I want to put Arwen Weaver of Hope now, but the +1/+1 counter stuff might come back out. Oh, whenever you attack with one more elf, scry 1. This is the scry deck. And it gets bigger when you scry. He can assign combat damage, though he's not blocked. Her again. Her again. Hopefully I took her out of the other deck, Sutina. And then that's all the gold stuff again, and then these two. Tyvar makes it in. Creature spells as though they had flash, that's still good.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together.
There we go.
1 month free.
-T Legend. Roll a dice. Way too expensive for the activated ability. Landfall Twiddle. There we go. And this attack, scry 1. Whenever you scry, tap up to X target non-land permanents, where X is the number of cards looked at with scrying this way. That could be important. When this enters scry 1, we don't need everything that scries. Shepherd. Like, there's a whole nother color in here, so we obviously... Let's see about Beast Whisperer. I'm passing over stuff that did not make it into the other. Of course, Boreal Outrider. We're definitely going to have to take cards out of this deck already, because after going, because we're going to have to cull some mono green cards because of other cards that are in this deck. And we're in the mono green section again, so that's why I'm kind of just going through it. We are still not messing with Devoted Druid. Like, just on principle. Still putting in all the lords because that's fun for me. At the end of the last deck, there was also like a point where I just wanted to finish it, so I probably could have refined it a little bit more if I felt like doing more reading for a deck I'd been working on for an hour and 45. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, I guess you do just have to put a deck away and come back to it later. Or in my case, if you like it, copy it. Make the changes you heard me talk about. So Green Seeker is another spell shaper that I missed during the mono green. You pay 1 green, tap this, and discard a card, Rampant Growth. That's pretty cool.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
Being Superman is harder than it used to be. It's much harder.
Get HBO Max and more streaming services to
My
watch your
heedless
favorites
one.
on YouTube.
dealing with something with my nose. Oh, duh, it's two L's, and I'm dumb. It's right here. Whenever you cast an elf, you get another elf. More elf for elf. Is still good. It really is about what are the new cards, and I guess what was taken out. Actually, that would have been funnier and faster. Is if I would have just copied the previous deck's list, added the new cards, and then trimmed it down. There is a very good chance that a lot of the +1/+1 counter stuff is getting taken out. That seems the most likely. Elf.
Stream hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
Hello, Sydney.
Get Paramount Plus and more streaming channels to watch your favorites on YouTube.
47 creatures, actually. I managed to keep the 13 pieces ramped. I'm gonna search. For the word scry. Just out of curiosity if there's any good scrying cards in this. This thing can be unblockable. This thing gets plus one counter. And then scries 2. Scries 2. And then maybe draw a card. Scry 1 on attack. Yeah, don't care. We're gonna go O Elf and then O Elves. Well, there's a ridiculous 3-card combo that you have to have 2 5-mana enchantments in play for. And it breaks a card that's already broken. Flourishing Defenses, which whenever a counter is put on a creature you control, you may create a 1/1 green for your creature token. Okay. Then that creature, the one that you can untap by putting a -1/-1 counter on it, taps for green. And then Cathar's Crusade. 3 green, whenever a creature comes into play, put a +1/+1 counter on all creatures you control. See, nope. There's another way to break an already broken card that didn't need the help. I got untapping Elves. And with that, we're going to do our lands.
You're on YouTube watching.
there was just messages I was responding to, and I wasn't being smart about clicking back in.
Chill lo-fi hip-hop, but did you know that there's a YouTube music app? We're at yet. I just want to make sure I have the proper amount. How many lands? 35. Okay, so 2 more. Command tower. And something. I was thinking of something, but it left my brain. Of Ancestry. Oh, I was thinking of 3-Tree Village, but I don't know if this deck specifically needs it. The other deck probably didn't need it, but, you know. So we are at 88. We're at 47 creatures. I could dump 7 creatures and still be happy. I think I'll dump 7 of my least interesting creatures,
Alright,
maybe?
today I'm here with Diego, owner of Temple Street Eatery, and we're putting him up against Intuit Intelligence in QuickBooks to see who's got the edge. Diego, how long have you owned the restaurant?
I've been operating for 12 years now.
Nice, a seasoned pro. Now let's try a harder one. What are your average monthly expenses?
Give or take about $60,000 a month.
That's a solid estimate. Now let's ask Intuit Intelligence. That gives you a tailored answer instantly, and in your case, you spent an average of $46,436. Check out QuickBooks to learn more.
Yeah, this stuff is still way mostly green. But we are at 12. I am just interested. Actually, I just thought of something. We're not putting any of these in, but I'm putting something else in. There's something I forgot to look up. I looked up elf, but not elves. Huh. Arboreal Alliance. You get an XX tree folk, but also whenever you attack with one more elves, you can populate. I don't know if we'd put that in this deck, but I do like that. Actually, you know what? Ding. Oh, the squad. The Scar Archers for anti-flying tech. Definitely think about that if you know someone's going to play flyers. Geez, there are things I forgot. I don't know how many token makers I have. I have five token makers. 3 of them. Yeah, 2 of them from here and 1 of them in protection are one-time use. That populates. This creates 1 a turn. This one gets an extra 1. Okay. Extra elf for elf. You know what? Claw progress. I pressed the wrong button. Isn't that minus? There we go. Okay. .48 creatures. Yeah, I could go. I could still go down a lot. Oh, you go into Anthem. There we go. Was kind of waiting for the Anthem thing to exist. Put this on tapper into protection just to consolidate. And I'm going to put this Momir into draw because it, again, we're consolidating. of the 2s except for Ray of Frost. That does put me at 96. That does put me at 8 pieces of removal. And that puts us at 100. I just gotta move this card to removal, which we're not gonna separate. We're not gonna separate into single target and multi-target. What's funny? I meant to make Golgari Elves, and I made Simic Elves. That's fine. I can bounce with that. Were I to tweak this deck more, I would take out, and I probably could do that, is these things for counters. Because a lot of this draw stuff I'm willing to bet is just scry stuff. But I like that most of that all but the one that cares about snow mana is from this set and can have this treatment, and yeah, that just kind of feels good. It is mostly the same deck with a tiny bit of blue spice. Now we will do Golgari Elves. But first, we will look at these Simic Elves. We put Arwen because she was a 2 mana. Okay, I understand. Then these Anthems. Oh, Reflections of Litjar, I understand. See, that's something I could take out one of the counters for. Adamantum Bonding Tang, yeah.
Most music apps have some
kind Master
of
Biomancer.
one-size-fits-all workout playlist, but the YouTube Music app has ad-free playlists personalized to fit.
Oh, I missed that. I missed this guy in
you better work, index finger.
in the
Get
Simic.
YouTube Music Premium. Try 1 month free.
See, I put some cards in here that I did not put in the other one. Oh, Kindred Discovery made it into here. Propaganda. What's this Watcher? Oh, it can't be blocked. But it's small, and that's why I don't care. Because it only becomes a 3/1. And it's only once per turn. This is multi-times per turn, but I don't know how many times I think we can scry multiple times. Fathom Mage, yeah, I understand. There's the tokens, the untapper. There's his incubator. Fresh card made it into this version, Herald's Horn. And a bunch of these things. Okay, so we are. That is weird. It is faster to just do this. Sorry, it's faster to do this. I mean, I did get ideas for what to take out of this. But I already forgot and I don't care anymore. Dang it. T. Elf. T. Legend. Legend. Then order by color, and of course, GB. There we go. So, Tyvar the Bellicose. Whenever one or more elves you control attack, they gain Death Touch until end of turn. That's already sweet. Each creature you control has, when a mana ability of this creature resolves, put a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the mana produced once a turn. That is sweet, and yes. Storev, Devkarin Lich. Oh, I like that. Whenever Storev deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, return to your hand target creature or planeswalker card in your graveyard that was not put there this turn or this combat. That's a good piece of recursion. You kind of just have to worry about stuff that went in this turn. Those can't come back. They gotta rot a little, I guess. Sheshra, Death's Whisper. She makes a creature block. And then at the beginning of your end step, our end step, if a creature died this turn, you may pay 2 life if you do draw a card. It's only on our turn though, but it's still there's a threat there of if you don't want me to draw a card, don't block. Other than the turn where you make something block. Savra, Queen of the Golgari. Whenever you sacrifice a black creature, you may pay 2 life. If you do, each other player sacrifices a creature. Whenever you sacrifice a green creature, you may gain 2 life. Beginning of your upkeep, you may have target opponent discard a card at random. And then you get elves when they discard. Mill, we don't like that. This guy just makes pests. Lathril, make yourself the target if she's your commander. Then it comes, then it comes to the kind of thing of, do we want her in charge? Or do we want to pretend she's not in charge? I think during backgrounds, hold on, that's a thing that we can look up. Home, past episodes, backgrounds. We did not do Golgari Elves. I guess we were saving it.
Time for your weekend family forecast. We're tracking a 100% chance of grumpy kids and hangry grandparents.
So let's look here before we go on. I just want to see if there's...
The McDonald's Big Breakfast.
I was just skimming to see if there's an alt commanders.
That's a warm muffin, savory sausage, fluffy eggs, crispy hash browns, and golden hotcakes. The financial
whenever it's not backgrounds, it's partners. Hold on.
Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
And partners didn't get its own thing, so they would be in guilds. I still didn't do that deck. I probably was saving it. Yep, okay, so I was just double checking to make sure that there would be partner decks in here. Kaga, Shadow, Archdruid, whenever they attack, they gain Death Touch until turn, mill 2 cards, don't like milling. Play land or permanent spell from your 1 cards that were built this turn. Golgari Lich Lord, for each creature, +1/+1 for each creature in your light graveyard, section of the creature. Each opponent loses life equal to the sacrificed creature's power. That's pretty neat. And then you can sacrifice a forest and a swamp to get them back. When this enters, you get a insect for each creature card in your graveyard, and you can sacrifice a creature to gain a life draw card. But you got to pay 2. Collect evidence. Oh, the other commander that'll get you in trouble. High Perfect Morcant. Whenever High Perfect Morcant or another elf you control enters, each opponent blights. That means they put a -1/-1 counter on a creature of their choice that they control. Tap 3 untapped elves you control, proliferate, only as a sorcery. Herald, King of Skimfar. When Herald, King of Skimfar enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. Or may reveal an elf or a warrior. or Tyvar, and put them in your hand. The rest of them bottom of your line in random order. Well, he draws this a card. The list of this trader has first strike and deck stuff, and whenever a creature an opponent controls, when it dies, you can recur an artifact from your graveyard to your hand. Glissa Sunslayer. Oh no, this is a good one. First strike to edge touch, from which it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, lose a life, destroy an enchantment, or remove up to 3 counters from a permanent. Glissa Herald of Predation cares about Phyrexians. Belb, Corrupted Observer. At the beginning of each player's post among phase, that player adds double colorless for each of your opponents that lost life this turn. It's pretty cool. Abomination of Llanowar is Vigilance Menace, power equal to the elves that you control and in your graveyard. Sure, we'll have fun with that. We're going to leave out the green creatures flash this time, but I still like the Pummeler. I actually think we're going to put this proliferator in.
The YouTube Music app can sense what you like from the moment you open the app. Try 1 month free.
We'll do Selvala again. Let's go. Whoops. Let's go, Rishkar. Let's go, Morwen. Let's go, you. Go you. You're still fun. Oh, at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 more creature cards in your graveyard, 1 at random goes to your hand. Sure. She manages the Oversold Cemetery. Oh, Shadowheart. Sacrifice a creature, draw X cards where X is that creature's power. Sure. Let's choose a background. We could have done a green background, but she doesn't, and put her as the commander, but she does not care about elves specifically. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1 counter on the agent. When the agent leaves, you get a 4 your tokens equal to his power. Pay a life, draw a card for elf entering. Oh, I did mono black elves when I was doing the partner stuff. Everybody skips, players can't draw cards, but at the beginning of their draw step, they lose 3 life and they tutor. Absolutely wild. Minus T Legend. Pay a life to add green. Gives makes stuff -1/-1. Incubates. Slow. Drider gives us spiders, but he's kind of expensive. When this guy dies, you get back a different elf. I'm fine with that. Oh, when the Dreadlord dies, non-elves get -3/-3 until end of turn. Gnarlroot Tapper taps for cream, but you can only cast elf creature spells. But he also gives attacking elves, unattacking elf Death Touch. That is right up my alley. Whenever this creature attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. That's fine, even if it only ever happens once. Discard an elf card. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves you control. Okay.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
Where are you sending us?
Oh, this is a fun one.
Try Paramount Plus free for 7 days on YouTube and dive into the latest releases.
Whenever a non-token elf dies, you can make an elf. That's fine. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a non-elf creature. I like the vampire version of this, so I'm going to use that. Whenever another non-token elf or berserker dies, you control dies, you draw a card and lose a life. Each opponent loses or your gains based on the number of creatures you control that share a type. This is a more expensive version of the card I just talked about. Only it can get rid of planeswalkers or indestructible creatures. Green section, so I'm just gonna quietly move through this quickly, grabbing the stuff I feel is good. Drawing cards for casting creature spells, since I have a feeling I'm gonna have a lot. And I said I'd be quiet, but I lied. A tad expensive. Elves of Deep Shadow. This is not a great card. Whoops, not that one. But this is such great art. This is the pet card of the deck.
Baseball season is here. Catch the action live.
Stay in the deck. Other elves. Joiner Adept actually does something. It mana fixes all of our lands. We're not going to do it because we're only a 2-color deck, but Joiner Adept will probably make it into the 3-color decks. There'll be 2 of those, and those ones probably will be a little bit more difficult because it's like, oh, we got to cut a lot of the green creatures. I'm going to skip land and more. Well, no, I can always take it out later. That gives us more elves per elf. It's technically card draw and ramp at the same time. It'll be funny if I have like very few elves because I was conservative. I mean, I'm still going to do another pass for the word elf in the text. And elves. So now we're into the creature card in the graveyard. Oh, Deathrite Shaman is pretty cool. But people might think we're trying to be way too... we're trying too hard. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, choose one. Gain 2 life, or draw a card and lose a life. Same thing here, except there's no 2 life option. Target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control. That reminds me of a guy I forgot. Oh, other elves get +1/+1. Oh, and it can get a different elf. Okay, oof, that is not good for how much it... Okay, that's not good for how much mana it costs. We got to 60 creatures, which means I can take out 10, because I think 50 creatures is fine.
Do it all with ad-free
We're keeping the proliferate.
and more on the YouTube Music app.
This guy makes our other... Oh, this guy goes in finisher. Abomination of Llanowar isn't really a finisher, although Menace does make him harder to block, but people will definitely double block him. But he doesn't have trample. I'm gonna hide you in removal because attacking elves getting Death Touch counts as that. I don't have a protection, so you go into counters. What do you do? That's card draw. And it's a card from several sets ago that hasn't been O-tagged. We'll put you into Anthem. That is not drain, but that's fine. That is not drain, that is fine. Prefect here. Perfect here. He's going to be our commander. Because as far as evil elf ladies who will make your opponent's target you, that's the one I like the most. Logically speaking, Elves of Deep Shadow should go away. We're going to get rid of Circle of Dreams Druid and Llanowar Tribe. Oh, she creates that many based on total combat damage. That is pretty boss. This untap right here means we can proliferate twice a turn, or we can do this thing twice a turn. So that's pretty boss. So, and I think I said before, even proliferating once is fine. Put you in Anthem. I actually think I'm going to get rid of this Eladamri. We don't actually need you, Herald. That draws more than one card, so that can stay. Let's go by type. 54 creatures. Yeah, let's try to get it down to 50, which is 51 with our commander, I realize. Once again, smart thing to do is to get rid of Elves of Deep Shadow. We're not getting rid of Elves of Deep Shadow. We can get rid of this Trapper, though. No, you know, yeah, we're going to get rid of that because there's other things we're going to put in here. Makes all of our stuff bigger. Makes all of our stuff bigger. Nope, we'll get rid of the Abomination. 2 more. We don't need Rishkar. Rishkar keeps falling out of these decks. Paying 2 life here is a little bit more expensive than other stuff.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
There's this machine. You can put everything right and make it the way it was.
Get HBO Max
You know
and
what?
more streaming
The
services
winnower.
to watch your favorites on YouTube.
Crippling fear. Do a double check of the word elf. Oh yeah, tree folk, that makes an elf. Attacking elves you control have a death touch. Oh, that's an enchantment. Yes, because that actually goes with something else. Oh yeah, the elf duel. Duel. You know what, this Tyvar can go in. It turns our elves into dorks for black mana. We can put a +1 counter on an elf, untap it if it was tapped, and then it gains death touch until end of turn. We can also make an elf. And then in ultimate that'll probably never happen because we start at 3 and it's 6. But we can draw cards on casting elf spells, and those elves get haste. Yo. Yes. I was tempted to not type the whole word, but then I was like, oh, maybe I should. I'll populate. protection from elves. And then a garbage enchantment. Okay, so we are at 61 cards. Oh, I should put in my lands. Look at that, it allowed me to catch one that I missed. We're not going to do Cavalry Coffers. That feels like overkill just a teeny tiny bit. We are going to Urborg. 75 bucks to needlessly mana fix. We don't have Swamp Walk in here, so never mind. Maya, because we do have that one card that gives all of our stuff Forest Walk. Still.
Watch hit movies and TV shows on YouTube.
We have to kill the imposter!
Get Paramount Plus and more streaming services to watch your favorites on YouTube.
36 lands. Okay, so we just Calm Tower. Ding. Gotta remember... Yes. Haunting Voyage. I'm glad I did not spell that out completely. Kindred Dominance for a very expensive piece of removal. Put us at 100, and there was 2 cards that I wanted to add. That did not make it in. That it was basically oh, that's recursion. Is it in removal? No. Well, technically it is, but there's another enchantment that made it into the deck that I don't know where it went off to. I wanted to drain. The attack, I wanted to put in Nylea's bow. And perhaps Whip of Erebos, since we're in both colors, but you know what? Nah, we're good. Okay, there's going to be a break in the recording. Actually, wait, what time is it? No, how long have we been recording? There we go. So we've been here 3.5 hours. So we're gonna split elves into 2. One and 2 color elves and 3 color elves. This is Tuesday, so this don't go up for a while. I'm going to record the other episode when I get up to be really ahead of schedule. Since this is all using really old cards, and I don't think the next couple of sets that are coming out are going to do a whole lot for elves. But if in a couple of seconds from now I say, welcome to my weekly Self-More Magic Gathering show, and I forget to cut it out, it means that there wasn't a whole lot to do with the 3 color decks, and they didn't get enough time to be their own episode. See you next time.